politicians in Latin America have this fake facade of saying, I do this for the people. And I'm like, no, I'm a presidential candidate because I'm selfish. I want to have a better Guatemala where there are no criminals, where I can walk freely. That's in my self-interest. That fake altruism of I'm sacrificing for everybody, it's never true. Once they're in power, they rob, they corrupt in the detriment of the weaker.
Welcome to FreedomFest TV, part of the Ultimate Summit for Liberty. I'm your host, Heather Wagenhals, and I am so fortunate to be sitting with presidential candidate for Guatemala, Gloria Alvarez.
Hello, Heather. It's such a pleasure to be here in person after being in Zoom.
I know. So
Yeah.
we got to do our interview online, but now we get the in-person flesh experience. So it's your first Freedom Fest.
It's my first FreedomFest, yeah.
Tell us what you think.
I love it. I have met wonderful people. I think the topics are super compelling. I love that there's variety of everything. There's well-being. I've been in the yoga classes. I've been in the economics forums, in the panels about politics, but there's also panels about what's the future holding for liberty. People here are very diverse, but they're all with the goal of advancing in liberty. And I think that that's incredible, because I've been in other conferences, libertarian, maybe more focused on students or on professors or entrepreneurs, but this is a place that gathers it all. So yeah, it's been fun.
So what's been a highlight for you? Who was your favorite person so far?
I enjoy a lot the mock trial of immigration. I think that was great. I also loved the power of yay and talking about resilience and self-esteem, because I myself come from freedom fighting for many years. And one of the things that is really hard is if you don't have emotional intelligence, if you don't invest in your self-esteem, if you don't have that power within you, people are gonna destroy you. At least that's my experience in Latin America, where you have the far, far left defending assassins like Che Guevara, or you have the far, far super conservative mercantilist right wing that also doesn't want open borders and free markets. So I think it's important to talk about freedom, starting from the way that you live it, and then inspire others.
So I know that politically you talk about liberty, and you also talk about the principles of objectivism.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing for me, because I like to think of myself as Dagny Taggart.
Good for you. Yes, we need a lot of Dagnys in the world.
Exactly. And you certainly are leading the fight down there in Guatemala. So what is so compelling about objectivism for you?
For me, I think it's the only philosophy that teaches you that morality, it's all about living the best life that you can live. Because for centuries, morality was all about sacrificing yourself, either for the collectivist state or for the collectivist religion. And sometimes a mixture of both, like in Latin America, where the church and state were one and the same. And it was always about you as an individual, you don't matter. It's all about the collective. And that's why socialism and mercantilism make so much sense. And here comes objectivism telling you, like, no, you are entitled to live the best life that you want to live. And that means that morality is whatever advances the goodness in your life. It's not about a code that you blindly follow without questioning. I think it's a super revealing and controversial concept, especially in my region, but a very necessary one. Because if you think about it, we have a crisis of self-esteem. We have a suicide crisis. We have cyberbullying. We have people that have not found in the state or in the church a strength to live the life that they want. So that's why you have wellness coaches, you have yoga, you have meditation, you have breathing, you have all these techniques coming to the Western world, sometimes from the East, saying, hey, here's the thing. And you know what's funny? They are now teaching selfishness as a good thing. They tell you, in order to get out of toxic relationships, addictions, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, think of yourself first. And this is what libertarians and objectivists have been saying for decades, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because, we, or I should say individuals that, or people that loathe the celebration of the individual are the ones that have added that connotation as negative. Because inherently the word selfish is not a negative word. It just means to be out for one's own best interest.
Yeah.
It never says anywhere to the detriment of others.
Correct.
So people have placed that connotation inappropriately so. And we need to be the first person to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, to produce for ourselves, to contribute for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm such a fan of Ayn Rand.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that those ideas need to be promoted. And I am just fascinated by the fact that you champion those as part of your reason for celebrating being and telling other people to do the same.
Oh, absolutely. It's part of my presidential campaign as well, because all politicians in Latin America, they have this fake facade of saying like, I do this for the people, whoever the people is, right? Because they never define who exactly is people. You know, it's just a empty concept that can mean anything. And they, with this fake altruism of saying, I'm sacrificing myself for others. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm a presidential candidate because I'm selfish, because it's in my selfish interest. I want to have a better Guatemala where there are no criminals, where I can walk freely. That's in my self-interest. That's why I'm doing this campaign. I am running to see a country that is beautiful in nature for once thriving, which means having free markets, rule of law, all the things that we're lacking, right? And I openly say it. I'm doing this for selfish reasons, and I'm not gonna sacrifice myself either for the cause. That's why I haven't entered a party, because as Ayn Rand said, it's full of moochers and looters. So if you really wanna be the change, that thing of, oh no, but you have to get in the system to change the system, at least in my experience, it's not true. So that fake altruism of I'm sacrificing for everybody, it's never true. And they end up being irrational, selfish people, because once they're in power, they rob, they corrupt in the detriment of the weaker.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's so fascinating. I'm so proud of you. I'm in awe of what you're achieving down there in Guatemala.
Thank you.
And I want to come visit.
Yes, please come visit.
So I want to be at the presidential party celebration once you're elected. So.
I hope so. I mean, if not, at least independent candidacies. That's my aim. If I can run as an independent, you know, that's the good thing about Guatemala. It's such a small country that there's the chance. Maybe if it would be Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, where things are so massive, it's harder. But in our case, I think it's possible. And you have to come to see UFM, the Libertarian University. There's a massive sculpture of Atlas Shrugged that you're gonna absolutely love. Yeah.
It's a date. I'm coming down. So if folks want to help you out, contribute, where can they find you on social media to be able to follow you and learn more about what you're doing? Yeah,
you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, a Telegram channel, Gloria Alvarez Presidente. You can find me there, and in Instagram, Gloria Alvarez C.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Heather. It's been a pleasure. Gracias.
Gloria Alvarez here, Guatemalan presidential candidate. I'm Heather Wagenhals, and we'll be back with more right after this.